Hi, horror fans! In honor of Smile 2 releasing this past weekend, let's dive into the first film. Released in 2022, Smile took the horror world by storm when it debuted, with its unsettling trailers and viral marketing campaign. If you're like me, the idea of a horror movie built around something as simple as a smile felt oddly intriguing and very terrifying. If you're ready, let's get into it. Parker Finn's Smile is one of those horror films that immediately gets under your skin. On the surface, it's a story about a cursed entity, but at its core, it deals with much darker themes like trauma and mental illness. Based on Finn's short film, Laura Hasn't Slept, the film stars Sosie Bacon, who plays Dr. Rose Cotter. She is a therapist working in a psychiatric ward when one of her patients, Laura, suddenly commits suicide in front of her, with a haunting smile on her face. Afterward, Rose begins experiencing increasingly disturbing encounters, all revolving around people flashing that same eerie, unnatural smile. As Rose investigates, she discovers that she's become the latest victim of a curse, passed from one person to another through trauma and death. The central tension comes from her desperate race against time to break the chain and avoid her inevitable fate. The plot of Smile kicks off fast and doesn't let go. Rose's patient Laura explains early on that she's been seeing smiling people. She's terrified and claims that this entity has foretold her death. Rose, skeptical, witnesses Laura's death and soon begins seeing similar figures herself. The tension ramps up quickly as Rose's life starts unraveling. One of the film's standout moments happens during her nephew's birthday party. Rose brings a gift, but when the wrapping paper comes off, it's revealed to be the body of her dead cat, which Rose had unknowingly wrapped. This shocking scene marks a significant turning point in the story. It's the moment when Rose's friends and family no longer see her as a victim, but as someone who is losing her grip on reality. The film delves deep into Rose's past, specifically her traumatic relationship with her abusive, mentally ill mother. Rose witnessed the overdose death of her mother. This unresolved trauma seems to feed the entity haunting her. The film subtly explores how untreated trauma festers and can pass from one person to another, both metaphorically and literally. As the film progresses, Rose becomes more desperate. At this point, her only ally is her ex-boyfriend Joel, a police detective who helps her investigate the curse. They discover a chilling pattern. Each person cursed before Rose witnessed someone else's death and then died shortly afterward. Besides the sole exception, who is a convicted murderer, Robert Talley. Rose and Joel visit him in prison, where he claims that the entity feeds on trauma, and that the only way to escape it is to brutally kill someone else in front of a witness to traumatize them, which will pass the curse to the witness. Rose rejects this idea and tries to break the cycle by isolating herself, believing that if she dies alone, she can stop the curse from spreading to someone else. Rose decides to return to her abandoned childhood home, the place where her mother died, hoping to confront the entity and end the curse once and for all. The entity, taking her mother's form, tries to break Rose's mind by playing on her guilt, convincing her that she was responsible for her mother's death. Rose appears to confront the entity, set it on fire, and finally break free from the curse. However, it's revealed that this confrontation was all in Rose's mind. She never escaped. The entity is still with her, and Joel, who has been tracking her down, arrives at the house just in time to witness Rose's final moments. As she succumbs to the curse, the film ends with Rose setting herself on fire in front of Joel, ensuring that the curse will now pass on to him, completing the cycle once again. The ending leaves you with a sense of hopelessness, reinforcing the idea that trauma, like the curse, is something that can spread and destroy, and that it's not easily escaped. The bleak and shocking conclusion serves as a powerful metaphor for how deeply entrenched emotional wounds can be. Even when we think we've conquered our demons, they can still hold power over us, and sometimes we pass that pain on to others without even realizing it. Sosie Bacon carries this film on her shoulders, and she does it masterfully. She portrays Rose's mental unraveling in a way that feels both terrifying and tragic. You can sense the weight of her trauma from the beginning, and as the story progresses, Bacon makes us feel Rose's increasing desperation and fear. There's a fragility to her performance that keeps us engaged, even when Rose makes irrational or questionable decisions, a common trope in horror, but here it feels justified by her deteriorating mental state. Kyle Gallner as Joel brings a grounded performance as the detective trying to help Rose, even as he struggles to understand what's really happening. Caitlin Stasey, though only in the film briefly as Laura, is haunting in her portrayal of someone who is utterly consumed by terror. Every actor plays their part in elevating the horror, making it feel not just supernatural, but deeply personal. While Smile delivers a solid horror experience, there are a few drawbacks worth mentioning. The concept of a cursed entity that passes from one victim to another is not entirely new. Films like The Ring and It Follows have already explored this territory. Also, many of the film's biggest scares were revealed in the trailer. If you've seen the promotional material, you've already encountered some of the film's most shocking and eerie moments, such as the scene with Rose's sister's head flipping upside down in the car window. These moments are undoubtedly effective, but for those who watched the trailers, the surprise element was diminished, making certain parts of the movie feel more predictable. Despite this, Smile still manages to maintain an unsettling atmosphere throughout. Even when you know a scare is coming, the way the film builds tension, both visually and audibly, keeps you on edge. The psychological horror, especially Rose's descent into madness and the exploration of her trauma, carries much of the weight, ensuring the movie remains disturbing and thought-provoking even when the jump scares lose some impact. So, while the trailers might have given away too much, the overall experience of watching Smile is still highly effective in creating lasting unease. Smile is a chilling exploration of trauma, guilt, and mental illness. With strong performances, particularly from Sosie Bacon, and an unsettling atmosphere, it keeps you on edge from start to finish. Yes, it borrows from familiar horror tropes, but it executes them with a level of emotional depth that makes it stand out. If you're looking for a horror film that will get under your skin and make you think, Smile is worth your time. What did you think of Smile? Do you agree that it stands out as a deeper exploration of trauma? Or do you feel like it relied too much on familiar horror tropes? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror content and movie breakdowns. And as always, stay safe and stay spooky. Thanks for watching and keep smiling, just maybe not like that. See you next time.